So it's about what's happening here.
Hotep Black Power. We're out here protesting a no good bastard by the name of, how do we pronounce his name again, Bashir? I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name. Hawass? What's his name?
Man,
Hawass. Zahi Hawass, right? Zahi Hawass. Now, he is a clear example. Whenever we tell you that the Arabs have practiced slavery or enslavement of Africans 500 to 600 years before the Europeans, he's a clear example of that. And oftentimes, whenever people discuss Malcolm X, they always speak about Malcolm X's trip to Mecca and when he saw white Muslims, etc., he changed his views. But Brother Khalid Abdul Muhammad, that when he went to Mecca, he didn't experience what Malcolm experienced. He saw white Arabs oppressing black people in the holy city. So this clown that we're protesting for decades has said that ancient Egypt, just like Europeans have said, was not a black or African civilization, despite the proof thereof. He's what we refer to as an attack dog for white supremacists, but also for Arab supremacists who enjoy taking Egypt out of Africa. But like we always say, people such as Dr. Yusuf bin Yaqin, otherwise known as Dr. Ben, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and Dr. John Jackson, people like this, they took Egypt out of Europe. The people that I just mentioned had took Egypt out of Europe and took it out of Asia and put it back in Africa. So we have to ask ourselves the question, what is so significant about ancient Egypt or about ancient Kemet? What is the significance? I always ask myself the question. Now, it's amazing to me that white people can have everything. White people can have, we'll give them Western civilization. We'll give them Greece and Rome, okay? We'll give them philosophy. We'll even give white people, hold on, you gotta let me finish, brother. Listen to my point, brother. Hold on, family. This is the point I'm trying to make in terms of whiteness. We'll give them everything, even Atlantis, okay? We'll give white people aliens. You ever notice how every time they portray aliens, even aliens are white? Have you ever noticed that? Yes. Okay, now we'll even give, okay, fine. You want Atlantis, you want aliens, you want philosophy? We'll even give you Jesus, the Son of God. Even Jesus is white. But why can't we have at least Egypt? Black people can't have nothing. I mean, mind, you want to have Egypt? We can't even have that one thing. So what is so significant about ancient Egypt? Read the book, Gerald Massey, Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, volumes 1 and 2. There's several books on this subject. You can read Stolen Legacy by Professor George G.M. James, and they explain to you the significance of ancient Kemet and the Nile Valley. So this is what I always say. Just as Greece, and I wrote an article on this some time ago, just as Greece is the mother, I say if ancient Greece is the mother of Western civilization, I say that ancient Egypt is its grandmother. Because out of ancient Kemet and the Nile Valley laid the foundations of civilization, even though black people had already been doing that. But as someone has said before, just as ancient Greece and Rome represents the climax of Western civilization, ancient Egypt represents the climax of ancient civilization, period. Okay? So we have to take Egypt back. All of Africa is ours, and for those of you that love to say that, oh well, ancient Egypt wasn't a black civilization, you want to play word games, you want to say they were mixed. Well, how come the ancient Greeks aren't mixed? Okay, you ever notice that? You know,
The brother that you see speaking right now was one of my soldiers in the Black Panther Party with Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. It was 4 of us there. It was good to have a nice reunion with the brothers. I was telling Jabari, you can ask them anything you want about me. There they go right there, Jabari. Those are the people you ask. Those are our soldiers. Those are my soldiers right there. Ask them anything. And Jabari was on the side and, he was talking. So that's one of our brothers, Rashad, a strong, powerful minister of information brother right there. So it was good to run into some of our original new Black Panther Party members that was down with Dr. Khalid, with me.
On my complexion, walking down the street, right now, people keep on saying that Cleopatra was not a black woman. Now, somebody my complexion, and this has actually happened to me before, I've been stopped by police officers, white police officers. And you know how when you get stopped by police, what do they ask you? What is your name, your rank, et cetera, height? They never ask me my so-called race, as high yellow as I am. Now, I could pass for a so-called mixed black. We have us a Dashan Farad, a light-skinned male black. A light-skinned male black. So how is it that the ancient Kemites were mixed and not black, but someone like myself walking down the street, I'm not considered mixed. I'm considered black, so we play word games. So I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Like I said, we're out here. Oh no, brother, I gotta get out and soldier the people, brother. You know, listen, I'm a journalist, I'm in commentator mode, but I don't wanna dominate. I don't wanna dominate, family. So, but it's unfortunate, you know, I'm gonna end with this. I wrote an article in 2017 called Africana Studies in the 21st Century and Beyond. It was dedicated to Dr. Clark's article 20 years before that called Why Africana Studies. And I mentioned that most people, I'm talking about black folk, we're talking about us now. Most black folk, even those with advanced degrees, still do not know that ancient Egypt was an African civilization. And unfortunately, now, when we see Egypt, people literally think that the way Egypt looked now is how it looked several centuries ago, a civilization that actually doesn't span back just 5,000 years, 6,000 years, but we have evidence, pre-dynastic Egyptian civilization spanning at least 10,000 years. You know, 10,000 years. So now, with all, you know, with Google out, you know, with all these books out, there's no reason for any black person to not know the significance of ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, and Nile Valley civilization. And that's all I got to say. Hotepu, Black Power.